at the center of most heated controversies about freedom, logic, morality, religion versus science, culture, and violence, very few people have ventured to answer accurately a number of questions regarding religion. Some are trained to blindly ditch a religion without answering these questions. Some, they go on to say religion is stupid, move on. And when it comes to definition of religion, some are very hard on it, saying that religion is idios and the guise of intelligence, hubris masquerading as humility, it is belief dressed as knowledge, hate disguised as love, and fiction parading as fact. So what must you do to religion? When it comes to religion and its centrality in human affairs, the passions which steers in billions, you'd think that we have a clear idea about the etymology of the term. So here is what you must do to religion. Dini, chitendero, bolumeli, unkulo, esin, inkolo. If you ask which is the oldest religion, you are bound to get the table that gives you Hinduism, Judaism, and so forth. Is this correct? Or this is just an academic lie propelled by liars? Most religious rules, rites, rituals, and ceremonies are not necessarily important for our continuous spiritual awakening. Due to the way a religion has been and is defined today, when it comes to the origins of that term or called a religion, or the 9 aspects of religion like beliefs, sacred stories, spaces, places, times, artifacts, texts, spiritual experiences, ethics, social structures, symbols, and rituals. So these have a different definition when it comes to the thoughts and ideals of religion. So defining religion is very complex. The etymology of the word religion and the true meaning of religion comes from the Latin re, meaning again, legare means to bind, like this. So to bind to what? Is it to bind to all of these, or to bind to one or a number of these? It is very difficult for these to be found in all religions working together. Otherwise, this world will be paradise, because what destroys a lot of them is ethics. Most of the religions kill, masquerade as good, but they are evil. So let's continue to look at defining a religion, because the meaning of religion is mired in confusion. Despite its fame, the source of the term religion, which comes and ends in the Latin noun religio, has no prevalence in the Greek or Hebrew or Proto-Indo-European. It's a Roman term. This is very, very important, because without this piece of observation, any decision you make on the religion is likely a misinformed act, if you don't know that it is a purely Roman crafted term. Whether you are for religion or against religion, and statements like I am spiritual but not religious may be utter nonsense and meaningless if you do not know that it is a Roman coined term. Now, if you know that you are using Roman credentials in deciding your life philosophy, at least you are in a position to know whether you are a Roman citizen or not a Roman citizen by default. It is clear that no ancient Indo-European language had a specific word for religion. Latin having it is the first. The word religio was used by Cicero, 106 to 43 BCE, who wrote Cultus Diorum, the worship of the gods. In his De Natura Diorum, Cicero links religion to the Latin verb relegere, which means to go through or over and over again in reading, speech, or thought. The later Christian author Isidore 566-36 AD writes, according to Cicero, a man is said to be religious from religio because he often ponders over and, as it were, reads again and again, relegiti, the things which pertain to the worship of God. Which God? Who is God? Now, Cicero explained that human beings were supposed to all know about that they are gods. So you have to be smart and ask which gods or God. The Romans learned from the Greeks, and the Greeks got their knowledge from ancient Hamite. This is the older chronology. One factor is to identify the oldest religion predating Greeks and Romans, so that you can identify the source of Cicero's religio and what it taught. To answer this question, we ask, which is the oldest race? We assume that the oldest religion began with that oldest race. Ask this question and you begin to read the lies and horribly biased presentations. Which religion came first into the world? They say it's Hinduism. Then ask, which is the oldest race? They are not Hindus. Hindus came yesterday, only less than 15,000 years ago. Now, age gives things a certain level of authority, especially when it comes to advice and morals. At the same time, it is clear that humans came on earth billions of years before Hinduism. How then does it become the oldest religion? When we have the following facts. This is Michael Tellinger. This is YouTube. You go and find what he says about these foot marks on the soft rock, when rocks were soft 200 to 3 billion years ago. It's found in South Africa. So human beings were already walking on the earth. Again, the world's oldest ritual discovered, worship of the python, Ishlato, Shato, 70,000 years ago. Hinduism is only 4,000 years ago. That's Hinduism is too young. This is in Botswana, Southern Africa. So, what is the oldest religion that began with the oldest race 3 billion years ago? It's animism. You can see there's evidence and proof that in Africa 300,000 years ago, animism was already in practice. Then totemism, which links you to animism and links you to the spirit via shamanism. It's 50,000 years ago. And it goes on, and then progressed organized religion started in Hamit 5,000 years ago, thousands of years before Hinduism. So, what is animism? Animism is the oldest belief system in the world. Animism's central belief is the belief that spirits exist in the natural world. And for you to understand more about this spirit, you must read before the God fiction took over the earth. The God fiction created by Roman and the Greeks and the others today. Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. You have to find this book, read it. You can find it from Amazon. So what must you do to religions? You ask the question, which ones? Wouldn't you follow that which is older than Cicero's gods, which will take you into animism? This is the best way you must go. So when you understand that the religion means relegare, meaning to tie back, to hold back, to bind fast, it means you are going to be bound to the oldest and original religion, which is animism, traditional African religion, or melanin dominant indigenous religions. So that is your old-time religion. We go to Albert Churchward, who supports our fact that you must go to the oldest religion to start afresh, to know you are connected to the original. He says the earliest forms of religions can only be found when we study the anthropological ethnology of the earliest men, the origin and evolution of a religion. So it connects you to that. So today we want to see the center or the cog around which we tie ourselves in a religious binding. It's not Christianity, it's not Islam, it's not Taoism, it's not Confucianism, it's not Buddhism or Hinduism. By the almost unanimous testimony of ancient historians, they, the ancient Hamitians, belonged to a Negro race, which first settled in Ethiopia and the Middle Nile following the course of the river Gaston Maspero. So it is the indigenous African religions. So it's clear that Kemet or Egypt or the civilization called Egyptian civilization is an African civilization, is ours. Just like Christianity, Islam that is found in Egypt today and all over Africa is a slave program, a mental slave program aimed at controlling African resources and controlling so-called Middle East, which is our land. It's not a spiritual system that can empower you. Only indigenous African spiritual system can empower you. We are going to show you that religion. You see here, they are worshipping a European who calls himself an Arab. So this is not the way forward. Major religions also, invented by the Greco-Romans, like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, are infused with evils like slavery, whereas animism, at the basis of Maati Ubuntu, never teaches such evils like slavery and the slaves obey your master, that you can buy and sell slaves or inherit slaves. That's not true religion or spirituality. Who you are following makes a huge difference in whether you are a religious or spiritual. Religion is following the messenger. Christianity follows Jesus. Islam follows Muhammad. Judaism follows Moses. But spirituality is following the message. Our ancestral religion is the oldest moral and ethical code known to humans. It is called Maati Unu Ubuntu, meaning truth, justice, harmony, righteousness, order, balance, reciprocity, and propriety, all connected to the preservation and appropriate use of natural resources. No colonization, no lying, no slavery in Maati. You have to defend yourself using Isfet, however. Why do we focus on Kush and Kemet, ancient spiritual, not religious systems above all other African systems? Because the Cushitic Kemetic system is our highest center in antiquity. It is the only African system that can prove to have the power to defeat Europeans and Asiatics today and in the long term. Kemetic spirituality is not a religion. It didn't start with the Greeks or with Romans. Here we work out our own salvation and assure ourselves of the afterlife. There is no need for religions. There is no need for sermons or pews. Our African ancestors led the world to civilization. Their power and glory begins with the devotion to God in their African image and the manifestation of the God self. Most dominant features in African traditional systems collapsed due to a heavy dosage of superstition. That's why we now derive evidence from Hamit, where we know that although the whole of Africa had a scientific spiritual system that empowered individuals and communities, over time, this became corrupted and disintegrated into superstition. Wisdom was kept hidden by secret societies, and they let the masses live in ignorance, and hence we became easy to be defeated. However, the only way to give an accurate exposition of ancient Nile spirituality is to restore the missing pages using information from other indigenous African systems which share a kinship with the Nile. Unfortunately, this is rarely done, and when it is done, it is a brief and a passing pass in comparison to these pseudo-Kemetic teachers who give lengthy discussions using Asian systems. Neither Indian yoga, Asian Reiki, nor Chinese Taoism, or Buddhism, or anything will be able to explain to you the true depth of the power of the Cushitic Kemetic spiritual science. Only through reconnecting with other parts of Africa will the mouth of Africa, Hamit, be able to speak to us again. So here is what you have to do to religions like all these: Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, Chinese traditional religion, Sikhism, and Shinto. Throw them in the garbage bin and flush them in the toilet. To reclaim the power of your ancestors, you have to study their glorious past, their culture, their philosophy, their architecture, science, art, literature, music, dance, and spirituality. To participate in the oldest philosophy of nature and make solid stand for your ancestral and divine ways, drop us an email on join@marifado.com. A religion is a corruption of the original spirituality. Now, you can send and post your pro-Afro content without undue hassles on our app, connect.marifado.com, which you can access by signing and registering on our website, www.marifado.com. You can do that in 2 simple steps. And let us share Ubuntu Maati spirit for spiritual and cultural congruence. Subscribe to our channel, Hamiti Hebrew Ethics. This preacher Rabbi LM Tumizulu God Kaltum Jakanja Kunkenim Skan. Till we meet again, edupe, siyabonga, tatenda, enkos, asante sana. Have a great day.